Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, conclusions which you might not agree with, but these things you should know about to be conversant in American history. And since this is just a surface survey, you should know about them much deeper than I'm discussing them. And there's a lot of other things I haven't mentioned or will gloss over. So let's begin. And we're going to talk about the anti-slavery movement called the Abolitionist movement, which grew and became a militant crusade by the 1830s as preachers who were tuned into the radical social change they believed America needed preached mighty sermons against slavery. Quoting from the Reader's Companion to American History and James Brewer Stewart, and I quote, "From the 1830s until 1870, the abolitionist movement attempted to achieve immediate emancipation of all slaves and the ending of racial segregation and discrimination. Their propounding of these goals distinguished abolitionists from the broad-based political opposition to slavery's westward expansion that took form in the North after 1840 and raised issues, excuse me, leading to the Civil War. Yet these two expressions of hostility to slavery, abolitionism and free soilism, were often closely related not only in their beliefs and their action, but also in the minds of Southern slaveholders who finally came to regard the North as united against them in favor of Black emancipation. Although abolitionist feelings had been strong during the American Revolution and in the Upper South during the 1820s, the abolitionist movement did not coalesce into a militant crusade until the 1830s. In the previous decade, as much of the North underwent the social disruption associated with the spread of manufacturing and commerce, powerful evangelical religious movements arose to impart spiritual direction to society. By stressing the moral imperative to end sinful practices and each person's responsibility to uphold God's will in society, preachers like Lyman Beecher, Nathaniel Taylor, and Charles G. Finney, in what came to be known as the Second Great Awakening, led massive religious revivals in the 1820s that gave a major impetus to the later emergence of abolitionism, as well as to such other reforming crusades as temperance, pacifism, and women's rights. By the early 1830s, Theodore D. Weld, William Lloyd Garrison, Arthur and Lewis Tappan, and Eliza Wright Jr., all spiritually nourished by revivalism, had taken up the cause of immediate emancipation. Make no mistake, the North treated Black people pretty badly, and racial prejudice and discrimination was common and codified in law. The Free Soilers not only did not want slavery in the territories, didn't want free Black people either. Anti-slavery sentiments in the North should not be mistaken for pro-Black, as they were simply against the slave power, as they called the Southern economic and political might. However, ardent abolitionists expressed some differing views. And we're going to continue talking about the abolitionist movement and next time, but we'll stop for now for time's sake and pick it up later. Thank you very much for paying attention. I hope you'll study American history.